hard, right? It didn't bring us together. We were already together, but it hit the city hard. And we really are grateful that people keep coming out here, right? That was after the grief. After that, it's like, wow, we hope they don't stop coming out. We'll be done. And that was the fear. And look at this. We got full bus right here. There's people all over the place. People are still coming out. So thank you for that, guys. I mean it. And then we'll stop on that. Having some fun out here. I got some hate. About 2 weeks ago. Tropicana is probably the most connected hotel. That one has more mob ties than probably any of them. I tell people all the time, get matches out of all these casinos. Go inside the Tropicana, if for nothing else, go get a book of matches from the bar. Every casino, right? Kirk Kerkorian dropped out in the 8th grade, started life out as a boxer, and then learned to fly planes when he was working on a farm. After World War II, he started flying gamblers back and forth. His palace was built on. And that was the first move by MGM. That guy died 98 years old and a billionaire. Right? He also owned MGM, the movie company, Paramount, United Artists. He had a small auto dealership. Some of you guys might have heard of Chrysler. Right? This boulevard was built by some amazing guys. We'll talk more about them when we get to slow spots. Hard Rock Cafe obviously is not inside the Hard Rock, but the Hard Rock is still worth checking out. All right, the Hard Rock is a couple of streets that way. Just hop on Tropicana or Flamingo, take an Uber or a taxi or a bus down there. It's not that far. Hard Rock's kind of cool. I like Fat Burger, but you know what my problem with that one is? You have to buy everything a la carte. What type of burger place doesn't just offer the meal? Right? I want the drink, the fries, and the burger, just the setup. Right? It drives me crazy when you have to buy Cosmo. The Cosmo is a $4 billion hotel, and it has a 3-story chandelier. It is a great place to go in there and get a fancy drink that you've always wanted to order, but you never did. You know, like a scotch and soda, or like a whiskey and rye, like something like that. And walk around, feel important, and then cross over to the Planet Hollywood, because that's where we stay some more. To the PBR bar. $7. It is the biggest slice of pizza out here on the boulevard. You guys have it? 2 thumbs up? I don't make any of it up, guys. That is a $7 slice of pizza that is absolutely worth stopping for. Guaranteed. They got a robot inside there making drinks. The tipsy robot right there. He doesn't look like Rosie from the Jets. Less rambunctious. Across the street to the Bellagio. That is a much quieter atmosphere. You just kind of walk around, check stuff out. They get loud in certain areas, but not as loud as in Paris. Cosmos care too. If you work in the social media, they got a giant martini glass that you can sit in. Right? It says Cromwell on it. So, oh my goodness, who is that? Is that Donnie and Marie singing right there? I tried to listen to their music for a few seconds a couple of weeks ago. I couldn't do it. I started with Puppy Love because that's like their big hit, and didn't happen. Oh, they're there taunting me. Now, this whole area down here is actually worth hanging out at. The Margaritaville is fairly inexpensive and a pretty live place. The Link's got a place called the American Bar. I've gone down there before during happy hour. You can drink Fat Tires and beers like that for $1 a piece. And that happened between 7 and 11. You're going to catch some fairly decent drink specials down there. Caesar's Palace was built by Jay Sarno. Jay Sarno was the guy who created the idea of themed casinos. Right? He built the Caesar's Palace. He built the Circus. He was got to have both out here. Paris has business sense, but no visionary. Right? Anybody seen those yet? Like I don't hang out in there. I just know those things are back there. Casino Royale said $2 beers. That is what that spot is all about. The Mirage. That is where Siegfried and Roy play. You guys remember them? Until the Tiger incident. The Tiger was helping him. That's what the story is, right? Tiger knew to help drag him off the boulevard. The Venetian is where the Sands used to be. Anybody heard of the Sands Casino? The Rat Pack used to spend a lot of time over here at the Sands. Who was in? Who?
Dean Martin.
Dean Martin?
Sammy Davis.
Sammy Davis. Got 2 more. Anybody? Peter Lawford. He was the brother-in-law, right? Kennedy. And then Joey Bishop. So they used to hang out here quite a bit. That is now owned by Sheldon Adelson. How looks like a giant Christmas ornament, right? That's what it's like. It's stainless steel. It is unbelievably shiny. I would go in there and check out the window if you haven't been in there. They also have a carousel made completely out of flowers. A live working carousel made out of flowers. They got a bunch of gardens, waterfalls, stuff like that. It's a really gorgeous place. Where are we at now? Now we're getting back to where we were. Tell you guys this already? Did we talk about this yesterday, but not today? I've done so many tours in the last 2 days. So Howard Hughes was staying on the top 2 floors in there, and Mo Dalitz was the guy who owned it, and he told Howard he had to get out because Howard wasn't spending money anywhere, and New Year's Eve was coming up, so Howard didn't want to get out, so he bought the hotel. $10.5 million, and he his casino, and he hired Elvis Presley to kick it off. And that's where Elvis did his 837 consecutive sellouts, right over there. And then Kurt Kerkorian went on to build the world's largest casino 2 more times. 3 times that guy built the world's largest casino inside Las Vegas. This building right here has been sitting there like that for 10 years. And once I get going, my voice comes back for a little bit. Out here on the biggest stage for architectures in the world, all right, get out of here. You're not going to finish that building. And if you are, I think it's a bad investment, whoever you are. I really do. Because if anything goes wrong, they'll blame you. And if it goes good, you don't get the credit. Right? So I don't see how any one of these... Or Winchester, Nevada. You have Essence right there. So if you're looking for the sticky icky, there it is. All right? I don't know who you are or why you're here. But if that's your thing, there you go. Now, coming up on the right, guys... You got the Holiday Motel. If you remember the movie Vegas Vacation, this is where Rusty had all the cars lined up illegally at the end of the movie, right there. I know you guys like movie history, so I watch every movie that was ever filmed in Las Vegas.
You will do that tonight?
Stratosphere, we got a jumper? What is it? Oh, he just came down. Back over there, get your butt back to the stratosphere, all right? Look for the needle in the sky and get back to it. Naked City, now I'm sorry. If that's what you were looking for, I don't know who you are. Out there topless, so that's how it got the nickname, was Naked City back then. Chapel of the Flowers kicks off an area we call Chapel Row. Guys, this is where Dennis Rodman married Carmen Electra in matching outfits. You guys remember that? They wore the same dress, I think. And then I was like, what am I going to do? Just keep talking about how they wore dresses, both of them? Like, who cares? So I looked into the story and I wanted to find out more. And you know what I found out? Dennis Rodman hangs out with Kim Jong-un, right? You guys see? Like, he's the unofficial ambassador to North Korea. And then I didn't know if I could bring that up on the bus, though. So, just in case, anybody from North Korea? All right, we're good. It went too far. I do it sometimes. Coming up, guys, so this area is called Chapel Row, because these are all wedding chapels you can get married at. We have 120,000 wedding ceremonies every year. It is such a big business that these chapels actually fought over it and started something, fighting over this business, right? It has calmed down now. Most of these chapels get along. You got a little white chapel right there. That's where Britney Spears did her drive-by wedding. Right, if you guys remember that. Also, Frank Sinatra married Mia Farrow there. And right here, Viva Las Vegas. If you want to get dressed up like the Flintstones or the Star Trek Enterprise crew and get married by Mitch and Elvis, that's your spot. Get your cameras out because it's coming up. First, you've got, unless we're in a rush, Elvina, we can get it on the way back. I can explain it to him. Oh, yeah. Guys, the Pawn Stars Pawn Shop right there is coming. That's actually Rick's Rollin' Smoke. So Rick's Rollin' Smoke is on top of there. The Pawn Stars Pawn Shop is right there. If you go to one, go to the other. All right? Make sure that you go to both because the Pawn Stars Pawn Shop is tiny. All right? The Graceland Wedding Chapel, that is where John Bon Jovi got married. And those people, too, whoever they are, right? John Bon Jovi got married there. Yeah. We do it at 9. I want to give them time to get back to it. All right. Everybody say 9:19.
9:19.
Again.
9:19.
Third time, I want to hear it. 9:19. If you're going off on your own, have fun, have a drink. Don't come back here like throwing up on the bus or anything like that, but go have some fun out there. The light show will be at exactly 9 o'clock, straight overhead on the canopy. I know you guys have a hard time with this, right? Because I'll be standing under the canopy going like this, and people are like, where's the light show? You're just going to look straight overhead, and it's just going to be a giant canopy. You see? What happened? You see it straight ahead. It's in between the two buildings. You'll see the archway. That's a canopy. Everything underneath the canopy is the Fremont Street experience. For time's sake, I wouldn't go